Better Outdoorsman here again today. Did you know that I've got a shooting range in my basement? That's right. I've got a shooting range in my basement. And if you have a span in your basement, your living area, your apartment, your attic, maybe backyard, if ordinance permits it, you can too for a minimal amount of money. And you don't even have to have a firearm, but you have to have something pretty close. And I'm going to show you right now my setup. Here in the basement, I can set up roughly a 10-yard shot, maybe a little further. And I've got this cardboard box here. With a hole in it. And the can, you can see, is all shot up. You back up a little bit. Inside that box, there is the backstop, which is pretty simple. A towel. Now, what do you shoot with that? Please tell me he's not shooting a rifle in his basement. Well, yeah, kind of. Not a firearm, but a rifle. And a handgun. Let's see. What's he shooting? A Red Ryder BB gun. That's one of them. This is a 50-year anniversary Red Ryder Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, and it's seen better days, but it still shoots. I've had it since I was a kid. Just noticed the screw's loose and need to tighten it. Had it since I was a kid. These were really popular. When I was younger, my dad bought it for me and my sister to shoot in the backyard. You know, over 30 years ago. Yeah, I've had it that long. And I've shot it in the backyard. I've shot it in the basement, depending on where I lived. And it's been a way for me to keep up my trigger work, keep my shooting eye, when I don't have time to go to the range, or I don't have a place to go to the range, or I don't have the money to spend on ammunition. BBs are cheap. Air rifles like this are inexpensive. Under $50, you can find a nice Red Ryder Daisy BB gun. And you can go fancier than this. You can get a Daisy multi-pump that'll shoot pellets or BBs. The target that I showed you, you'll need to shoot BBs. If you want to shoot pellets, you would build a box like this, and then in the background, you would want, say, stacks of magazines, phone books, etc., and probably some wood in the back, and maybe even at the very back, a plate of steel or something, but that's not 100% necessary. But I have used, with some higher power air rifles, a piece of thick OSB, and I found that many times it goes through them. So depending on the power of your air gun when you're shooting pellets, you certainly want to strengthen up the target. But with BBs, this is perfectly adequate. And I have another Daisy BB gun. I have a CO2 powered BB pistol, and I come down here and I just do a little quick target practice. I don't spend a lot of time Um, at one time, 20 to maybe 100 shots. Just just practice, keep up my trigger squeeze, keep my sight alignment, bring my scoped high powered pellet gun down with a different backstop I have. I use an old skillet, and it doesn't go through that, it doesn't crack it. And practice with that. It's fun, but it's good practice. And I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go anywhere. Do it right in my basement. Not everybody has a basement. Not everybody has a backyard. But you can set up a target like this and get you a BB pistol, get you a little Red Ryder, and just in the living room, practice punching paper. Now it's going to be close range. But with a BB pistol, that's really good practice. You want to be more. You want to stay proficient. You want to become proficient. You've got to spend time squeezing a trigger. You've got to spend the time shooting a target. BBs are cheap. Air guns, as a general rule, are cheap. Now you can spend thousands of dollars on high-powered air rifles. This is what we're talking about. Cheap Daisy BB guns and Daisy and Crossman BB rifles and pistols. That's what we're talking about. You just can't see the sights. Find something with a scope. A Daisy Pump Master worked just fine. I shot Daisy 880 at Daisy Eagle with BBs and pellets in basement for years, and they're fun. An old Benjamin Blue Streak, Blue Streak, 20 caliber multi pump. Shoot it in the basement all the time. Sheridan Blue Streak, sorry. Benjamin and Sheridan were kind of a conglomerate. I also use those guns for hunting small game, squirrels, rabbits. But cardboard box, old sheet, old piece of carpet, stack of magazines, piece of plywood. Build yourself a target. Build yourself a backstop. Find yourself a safe place. Get you some quality shooting glasses. Buy some paper targets. Just get some notebook paper and a Sharpie. Set up some soda cans. Get some friends involved. Have some friendly competition. It's fun. These are made for kids. Well, most every man my age had one of these when they were a kid. Shot a lot of soda cans in the backyard. Probably depleted the bird population, which I don't recommend. But had a lot of fun. But as an adult, you can still have fun. It takes the same skills to hit with this as it does with a high-powered rifle, a 22. We're going to get in a little bit later. I also set up an archery target down here. Again, I've got a 10-yard shot. That's not a long shot, but I got about a 10-yard shot. And if I can move some things around, I could shoot from corner to corner and get some longer shots. And I set up an archery target. And I discharge my crossbow. I check my zero on my crossbow just to make sure something didn't move. I could do some practice with it if I wanted to. But I shoot my recurves down here fairly consistently. And that's a lot of fun, shooting recurve bows. A lot of games have been killed at 10 yards. You do need to practice further. But if you can't get to an archery range, you don't have the ability in your backyard, or it's raining or snowing or something like that. Get you a bag target and practice. Even if you can only practice 5 yards, you're learning the fundamentals. You're keeping up with your muscle memory. Same with these BB guns. And keep it fresh. The more you shoot, whether it be a bow, a handgun, a rifle, a BB gun, a BB pistol, a pellet rifle, the more you shoot, the more proficient you will become. And we need to find ways to do these things. And as more and more people live in crowded areas, it becomes less and less easy to do this. So we come up with alternatives. And air guns are a great alternative. You start shooting higher powered air rifles with pellets, and you can have a lot of fun. And you can also use them to hunt small game. You can use them to shoot pests in your garden. And by pests, what do I mean? Squirrels, rabbits, for sure. Mice, gophers, of course. How about raccoons? Well, that seems awful big for a BB gun. Well, I'm not talking about a BB gun. I'm talking about a high-powered pellet rifle. I'm talking about something 22 caliber that shoots a 14 plus grain pellet at 800-900 feet per second. Not a lot of muzzle energy there. The one that I hunt with the most has about 20 to 22, between 20 and 25, usually 20 to 22 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. I had a 177 that shot somewhere between 15 and 17. I've got another 22 that shoots around 15 to 17, somewhere in there. Not very powerful, even when compared to 22 shorts, 22 CBs. 22 CB usually has 30 or so. Not a lot of power, you wouldn't think. But it'll go through a piece of, let me see here. Go through a piece of 3/8 OSB. I'll do another video and actually show that happening. Go through a piece of 3/8, maybe half-inch OSB. Think that'll penetrate a raccoon or a groundhog skull at close range? Sure. It can do some damage to a person too, so you need to be careful. You need to build the right backstop. But hunting small game, shooting varmints is a lot of fun. A gas piston, brake barreled pellet rifle with the right pellet, with a scope, is a blast to hunt squirrels, rabbits, crows, sneak through the woods, fire a quiet shot, collect your game and move on. I've used my different air rifles to dispatch raccoons and possums that I trapped multiple times. And that comes in real handy. Maybe you're close to houses and things, and you just don't want to disturb the neighbors. Comes in handy. Say you've got 4 or 5 acres, and you got neighbors nearby, and you can fire a gun now and then, but you just don't want to disturb your neighbors. Air rifles are a great way to go. Maybe you live in town, but you get a basement. Air gun's great for practice. Maybe you just really want to shoot your bow, but you don't have a place. If you've got a basement, you've got a shed, a room in your house that allows it, set up an archery target, make sure you're safe. and have some fun. Practice, practice, practice. Well, veteran outdoorsman, remember Christ is King. Hope to see you again. Hope you enjoyed the video, as short as it was. You all have a good one.